are discussing that how we use the liquid crystal display and how many types of liquid crystal display, how we create an liquid crystal display. As we know that the construction of the liquid crystal display, it uses the liquid crystal that is in the phase of that is in the new phase in between the conventional liquid and the crystal. So now further we will discuss how we create an LCD. You see on the screen how LCD works and how we create an LCD. Now you see very clearly, you can see on the screen that we are having the various part of the LCD. First part is the mirror, that is indicated by the A. Second part is the glass filter. We use the two glass filter, one vertically and one horizontally. So first glass filter, that is the B, and now you see on the left hand side on the screen you are saying that there is a negative electrode that is represented by the C, that is the third part. Now the another is the liquid crystal layer. This is the main important part of the liquid crystal display, that is the liquid crystal display, that is represented by the D. Next is the positive electrode. With the negative we are having a positive electrode. Next point is the glass filter, that is represented by the E. It means we are having a two glass filter. You see clearly on the screen that one is vertically and another is the horizontally mounted. One in the form of the row, another in form of the column. And you see that after the glass filter, you see there is a point of F, that is a polarizing film, that is represented by the F, that is the polarizing film. Polarizing film we use on both the part of just front of the glass filter. You see on the glass filter B, just you come on the glass filter B, on the upper side you can see there is a polarizing film, and this same film, and we use this polarizing film we use for the another glass filter, that is represented by the A. So we are having a two glass plate and we are having the two polarizing film. Moreover, we are having a one mirror. Apart from that, we are having the two electrodes, one is negative electrode, another is the positive electrode, and in between these glass plate electrodes we are having the liquid crystal layer, that is represented by the D. Now you come on the front, that is the cover glass of the LCD, and you can see the displaying image on the screen, that is represented by the 6. So in LCD we are having the mirrors, glass filters. With that glass filter we are having the polarizing film, we are having the electrode, negative and positive electrode, and in between the positive and negative electrode there is a liquid crystal layer, that is the D, and at the last we are having the display images on the cover glass. So this is the basic arrangement of the liquid crystal display. Now there is more to building an LCD than simply creating a sheet of the liquid crystal. The combination of the four facts makes LCD. Light can be polarized, how sunglasses works, for the some fascinating information on the polarization, why we are using polarization. So liquid crystal can transmit and change polarized light. The structure of the liquid crystal can be changed by electric current. The structure of the liquid crystal. What is the benefits of liquid crystal? The liquid crystal can change the electric current. There are transparent substances that can conduct electricity. So an LCD is a device that uses these four facts in surprising way. So for creating an LCD, the two pieces of polarized glass we will use a special polymer that create microscopic grooves in the surface, is rubbed on the side of the glass that does not have the polarizing film on it. So the polarizing film used with the glass plates. So the grooves must be the same direction as the polarized film. So so add the coating of the pneumatic liquid crystal to one of the filter. So these grooves will cause the first layer of the molecules to align with the filter's orientation. Then add the second piece of the glass with the polarizing film at a right angle to the first piece, so that it may be vertically, one may be the horizontally. So each successive layer of TN molecule will gradually twist until the uppermost layer is at a 90-degree angle to the bottom, matches the polarized gas filter. As the light strikes the first filter, it polarizes the molecules in each layer, then guide the light they receive to the next layer. As the light passes through the liquid crystal layer, the molecule also change the light plane to the vibrational to the match their own angle. So when the light reaches the far side of the liquid crystal substances, it vibrates at the same angle as the final layer of the molecules. If the final layer matches up with the second polarized filter, then the light will pass through. So if we apply the electric charge to a liquid crystal molecule, they untwist and they straighten out, like they change the angle of the light passing through them, so that it no longer matches the angle of the top polarized filter. Continuously, the no light can pass through the area of the LCD, so which makes the area darker than the surrounding area. So building the simple LCD is easier than the thing. So we can start the sandwich of the glass and the liquid crystal, describing about the two transparent electrodes to it. One is positive and another is the negative. For example, if you imagine that we want a simplest possible LCD and just a single rectangle electrode on it we can use. So the layers would look like this, like the LCD needed to do. The job is very basic. We can say that we have seen in the picture that it has a mirror A in a back with make it reflective. Then there is a glass B with the polarizing film on the bottom side and the common electrode plane C that made of the indium tin oxide on the top. So A, B, C, first is the mirror, second is the glass and third is the electrode. Then common electron plane covers the entire area of the LCD, and above that the layer liquid crystal substance in between that negative and positive electrode. So next come another piece of the glass E with the electrode in the shape of the rectangular on the bottom, and on the top another polarizing film F is used at the right angle to the first one. As we discussed that first is vertically, then we use the horizontally. So that's why it is on the right angle to the first film which we were used. So electrode is hooked up to the power sources like the battery. So we supply the current through this battery. When there is no current, light entering through the front of the LCD will simply hit the mirror and bounce right back out. So when there is no current, then no light will be passed through it. But when the battery supplies current to the electrodes, the liquid crystal between the common plane electrode and the electrode shaped like the rectangular untwisted and block the light in that region from passing through it. So it makes the LCD show the rectangular as a black area. So this is the working of the LCD, liquid crystal display. Now we discuss the type of LCD. How many types of LCD and on the what basis we can define these type of LCD. In the LCD there is a requirement of the twisted pneumatic that is TN, which are inexpensive while having high response time. However, TN displays have a low contrast ratio, viewing the angles and the color contrast. So, on the basis of the display, the LCD may be divided into can be classified into many forms. First form is the twisted pneumatic. Second is the plain panel switching displays, that is IPS panels, and which boast much better than that of the contrast ratio, viewing angle of and the color contrast when compared to the TN LCD. These are good as compared to the another one. So, vertically alignment panels, that is VA panels, which are seen as a medium quality between the TN IPS displays. Advanced fringe field switching, that is AFSS, that which is the top performer compared to the IPS display in the color reproduction range. So, these are the types of LCD based upon the signal I mentioned here, but these are the basically type that we will discuss further in this lecture. First, we discuss the how LCD exists. How it is currently we are using LCD nowadays, but whatever the previous history of this LCD. So, LCD display was the first built in the year of the 1964. That was in the RCA laboratory by the George, who was electrical engineer and who developed this LCD in 1964. At first in the year 1888, liquid crystal was discovered by the Frederick and extracted the and it was defined that liquid crystal used in the liquid crystal display devices, and at that time liquid crystal was used in the research and experimental works, and in 1936 liquid crystal was used in the practical application, and that is known for the liquid crystal light valve that is used as a wireless telegraphy. So, first the liquid crystal used as a liquid crystal light valve. And then in 1962, then Richard generated some patterns in the thin layer of the liquid crystal material by applying the voltage on it, which is known as the electro-optical effect, because we are using the electrode as well as the glasses. So, that is the electro-optical effect. After all these things, finally 1964 LCD was invented. So, the first modern LCD was produced in the year 1972, that is an International Liquid Crystal Company honored by the James, and this LCD was made using the passive grid technology. Nowadays we use the active. So, in year 1995, Hitachi and NEC were the first manufacturer of the active matrix LCD. LCD display exists in 1995. So, these LCD are based upon the IPS, that was in panel switching technology. After all this, by year 1996, Samsung and Toshiba has came to the market, and they they manufactured the display devices. So, what are these different type of the LCD? And the type of LCD screen based on the signal, and on the basis of that the LCD may be classified, and there are 4 types of LCD on the basis of the signal display. First is the twisted pneumatic, which are cheap but have the fast responses and having the TN screen, and on the other hand have the low contrast ratio, viewing angles and the color contrast. So, the use of TN LCD in many types of the display across the industries has resulted in their widespread manufacture. So, and TN twisted pneumatic LCD is a kind of monochrome LCD display technology that can be used for the positive or negative display mode, and it has the 2 polarized filter pneumatic crystal liquid crystal and elements that inside the two glass substrate. When nature's light goes through the front polarizer to meet with the pneumatic liquid crystal cell, it twisted 90 and passes through the rear glass to arrive at the rear polarizer. So, in this way it controls the TN LCD panel on and off and lets us see the light. And as one of the oldest LCD display technology, it has a lower cost, faster response time, but suffers from the limited viewing angle. So, it is mostly used in the low end market such as LCD panel terminal. You see, this is the TN display on the screen. You see, left hand side there is a positive, there is a white display, and that is the black display. When the all the pixels will glow, that is the white display, and when the all the pixels are off, that is the black display. You see here that the polarizer are attached with the transparent electrodes, and between that there is a liquid crystal and the voltage supply given to the crystal. And you clearly see that one polarizer is just in 90 at a 90 angle of the another polarizer. And you see we are having a transparent electrode also, and in between these transparent electrodes there is a liquid crystal. So, that is the TN display for the white and the black. You see, for the white they are aligned, and for the black they are randomly oriented. So, this is the TN display. Next type is the panel switching display, that is IPS panel. When we compare it with the TN LCD, this IPS panel have significant higher contrast ratio and higher viewing angle and having the more color contrast as compared to the TN LCD. When compared to the TN LCD, in the panel switching, displays provide the superior picture quality, bright color, precision and the differences. So, IPS suffer from TFT, superfine that TFT, that LCD is variant of the TFT LCD that have a liquid crystal to switch in and out of the panel, which leads it to resign superior in regards to the great color performance and ultra wide viewing angle. It means IPS having the more color contrast as compared to the TN LCD, and it is also having great color performances as compared to TN display devices. So, IPS is superior as the TN devices, whereby IPS LCD panels become the preferred choice of those who value the image quality and super wide viewing angle. So, such as professionals, and in this case the display panel will be of the larger size, such as professional applications dealing with the graphics, monitors for gaming, higher level of the business uses, they use the IPS display. You can see on the screen, this is the IPS display. Again same, there is the polarizer, and in between that there is a liquid crystal. You see the transparent electrode, and this is for the black and this is for the white. Now, the alignment of the transparent electrode are different as compared to the TN. They are aligned at the right angle of the polarizers. So, both the displays are having a different arrangement, TN and the IPS display. So, next type of the panel is the vertical alignment panel, VA panel. Vertical alignment regarded as a grade intermediate between the TN and IPS display. These vertical alignment panels are seen to be the good compromise between in-panel switching panels and the twisted pneumatic technology. So, is technology in between these two technology. When compared to the TN displays, this type of panel has a superior quality color reproduction as well as the best viewing angle. But the next type is the advanced fringe field switching, that is the AFS, that is a top performer in the color reproduction ranges when compared to the IPS displays. It means they are having the top performance as compared to the other LCDs with a wide range of the color production options. So these monitors produce the high quality images, and these displays are the most typically used in the high tech applications such as viable airplanes and cockpit. Now, how we define the working of LCD? We already discussed a little bit. Now we discuss that how we discuss the working of the LCD. As LCD is that liquid crystal uses a flip pixels on and off to expose a specific color. This is the basic principle, that flip pixels on the on and off exposes a specific color. When an electric current is provided to the liquid crystal molecules, the molecules tends to untwist, and this produces a shift in the angle of the top polarizing filter as well as the angle of the light travelling through the molecules of the polarized glass. So, as a result, the little light is permitted to let the polarized glass through the individual area of the LCD. So, comparison of the other places, this one will appear dark. LCD work on the promise of blocking the light rather than emitting it. When the LCD are built, a mirror installed on the back side. So these are the electrode plane which is capped on the top of the devices is made of the indium tin oxide. Polarized glass with a polarizing coating is also included on the device bottom. So entire region of LCD must be contained with the use of the common electrode, and the liquid crystal matter must be above. So on the top another polarizing film, and on the bottom in the shade of the rectangular the second piece of the glass with the electrodes, however ensured both the parts are the correct angle. When there is no current, light flows through the front of LCD, reflecting, bouncing back with the help of the mirror. So the screen will composed, so there is with the black screen. So in front of the light, if the screen is composed of the red, green, blue and red, green, blue pixels. To reveal a certain hue or the keep a pixel dark, liquid crystal work by turning on and off filter. So these we discuss, and there are the other type of the there is other type of the filter, the other type of the panel that we discuss, that other type of LCD panel that we will discuss in the next lecture. There are some characteristics also that we will discuss in another lecture, that how the specification can be defined for the LCD panels, that we will discuss. There are the many specifications that must be keep in mind just construction of the LCD. There are advantages and disadvantages of the LCD, how we compare the LCD with LED, that we discuss in the another list. And moreover, there is what is the environment impact by construction of the LCD, that we will also discuss in the next lecture. And these are the references we have used for the construction of the PPT. So we prepare the PPT by using these references. So we will discuss further the LCD in the next lecture. Thank you very much.